Welcome to the Whoswhere product overview. In this presentation, we will go over the functionality and features of the Whoswhere web-based solution. Whoswhere is a multi-purpose solution that consolidates employee payroll, benefit, and human resource data from disparate systems into a data warehouse. This provides the ability for organizations to be vendor independent and select the solution that best meets their needs. One of the most prominent functions of Whoswhere is payroll data aggregation from disparate payroll providers. This provides organizations with multiple locations the ability to aggregate payroll data for purposes such as benefit eligibility tracking, Affordable Care Act tracking, benefit contribution invoicing, and more. Eligibility tracking uses this data and each client's specific benefit eligibility rules to determine when employees reach eligibility, even when an employee works in several locations and their hours must be aggregated. In addition, employment history such as hire dates, leaves of absence, positions, and terminations are all tracked in Whoswhere. Enrollment data is obtained from various providers or carriers, so history of employee enrollments and waivers can be tracked. Contributions to benefits can be invoiced and funds transferred from within Whoswhere, helping to ensure that employee and employer contributions are timely and includes the ability to create a common remitter file that can be uploaded to record keepers. The ACA Tracking and Reporting module covers all aspects of Affordable Care Act compliance requirements, including ongoing employee ACA eligibility tracking, affordability checking, 1095 form generation and mailing, and 1094 e-filing to the IRS. The robust reporting tool can be used to consolidate data for annual census reporting, workers' compensation reporting, insurance quoting, and more. Let's take a look at the solution. The executive dashboard is used by organization-level users to quickly determine if there are any areas that need attention. For example, they can see if there are any invoices that are unpaid, if any payroll files need to be uploaded, and if there are any employees who are eligible and not enrolled, or even enrolled and not eligible. Each of these categories include the ability to drill down to location and employee level data, where email functionality provides the ability to send reminders for late payrolls, unauthorized invoices, and employee eligibility resolution. Similarly, the location dashboard serves as the homepage for location-level users. Here they can see the eligibility summary for their employees, as well as a summary of any outstanding invoices they have created but not yet authorized. The message board can be used by the organization to post information for all locations, a single location, or a group of locations. In addition, these messages can be emailed to the location users. Location users can also drill down to individual employee or invoice data with a simple click. Let's take a quick look at the employee information stored in Whoswhere. Employee demographic data is stored in Whoswhere and is updated with each new payroll file loaded into the system. Plan information, such as eligibility and history of enrollments or waivers for the employees and his or her dependents, is also able to be stored. Payroll details, including hours worked at other locations and ACA tracking information, is available for each employee. ACA tracking information is available for each employee. Documents can be uploaded into Whoswhere for each benefit type, such as waiver forms. And while each location's data is secured to that location, the organization can view employee records in every location where they are active, and their hours are tracked across all locations for eligibility, contributions, ACA status, etc. On the next slides, we'll review the ACA reporting module. In terms of ACA compliance, Whoswhere is truly a one-stop solution for both aggregated, applicable large employers and single employers. It provides tracking of aggregated employee hours using either the look-back or monthly measurement methods and determines the appropriate codes for IRS reporting on the 1095 and 1094 forms, including electronic filing. The ACA dashboard contains all the information needed to track employees and their ACA eligibility status to ensure that any employee who meets the ACA qualifications for full-time status is offered coverage in a manner consistent with the timing laid out in the IRS regulations, helping employers to avoid costly per-month penalties for failing to do so. Measurement period information is configurable to a client's specific decisions, and everything is summarized on the dashboard and can be drilled down to for a more detailed view. For example, under the initial period details table, employers can drill down to see which employees are in the initial administrative period and those employees' ACA status, and make their offer of coverage as required to avoid penalties. They can also see all employees in a standard measurement administrative period, which usually coincides with the employer's open enrollment period, and ensure they are offering to all eligible employees. Employers can also see the status of affordability for individual employees, as well as perform what-if calculations to determine the employee share that would be affordable for all ACA full-time employees. The ACA tracking regulations are complex, so Whosware provides an employee-level timeline that shows the data used to determine ACA status. The next screen is a sample of that timeline. Each employee has their own ACA timeline in Whosware, detailing their measurement periods, ACA eligibility status, their enrollment or waiver status, and their employment metrics such as hours per month. This timeline shows an employee being tracked using the look-back method and tells the employee's full ACA story. Employers can easily see how the measurement, administrative, and stability periods relate, and the timeframes during which an employee needs to be offered coverage after attaining full-time status per IRS regulations to avoid a penalty. Tracking includes functionality for educational breaks, special leaves of absence, breaks in service, including determining if an employee who's returning can be considered a new employee or must be a continuing employee. And all safe harbors are accommodated for affordability tracking, federal poverty line, W-2 wages, and rate of pay. There's no need for employers to be ACA experts to use Whosware. When it comes time each year to furnish employees with their 1095 forms, Whosware generates all necessary forms in seconds with the click of a button. Using the employee's payroll and enrollment data, Whosware populates the appropriate codes on the 1095 forms using proprietary logic based on the applicable IRS regulations. The system will review each form and notify users of any errors, such as missing employee addresses, missing enrollments, and so on, helping to prevent the issuance of an incorrect form to an employee. Once all forms are ready and reviewed, the click of a button will initiate Whosware's print and mail service, which has the forms out to employees via the United States Postal Service within 2 business days. Mail dates, corrections, and e-filing status are all tracked in Whosware. In the event the IRS returns the form with a status of accepted with errors or rejected, Whosware provides detailed information on what needs to be corrected, for instance, incorrect dependent Social Security numbers. When it's time to electronically file the 1094, processing is just as simple as the 1095s. Once again, all forms for all locations are generated with the click of a button, and any errors are presented to the user for review. Once everything is ready, the forms can be electronically filed to the IRS, and Whosware will continually and automatically update each form's e-file status, informing the user as to whether the IRS has accepted it or if it has been rejected and needs further attention. Any errors sent back from the IRS are explained clearly and concisely in Whosware, allowing a user to make any necessary updates and refile with ease. To speak with a Whosware representative about your specific needs, please contact us at 888-561-2072 or email sales@points-north.com.